Is the secret to saving the members of the League written somewhere in the stars? Well, Hal Jordan and the Green Lanterns plan to find out. All this and more in the pages of Dark Crisis issue number 3. Let's hop on in together and find out what happens next, shall we? So then, as we join the book, the ripple effects from the attack on Titan's Tower are being felt all over the world. It seems that everyone has finally realized that the Justice League is truly gone and aren't coming back to save them. I mean, they probably should have already known that, what with the big funeral and everything, but hey, you know what? Sometimes it takes a minute for things to feel real, I guess. It's not just regular Joe Schmoes who are waking up to the direness of this situation either. All of those heroes that John had tried to recruit in issue 1 only to get turned down have also decided that maybe they should actively try and do something now instead of nothing. This actually leads to a very fun scene where a bunch of the young heroes show up outside Beast Boy's hospital room where he's recovering. Even Roy Harper makes his big return here, which everyone except for Red Hood kinda undersells, and Jason says, "Don't worry, we're going to go find your daughter, Leanne." Oh yeah, I forgot that was a thing Williamson started in Infinite Frontier, and that no writer ever seemed to bother to pick up on. Man, the Green Arrow fans really do get the short end of the stick, don't we? Now, while the Titans' generation of heroes all commiserate together, elsewhere we see John the Superboy and his brand new Justice League studying under their brand new harsh taskmaster, Black Adam. As he's been all throughout this series, Tethadam has been greatly unhelpful. "You are all unprepared. You live in the shadows of greatness and will not be able to do what is asked of you when the time comes." Jeez, can you believe this guy used to be a father at some point? Thank God Osiris isn't around anymore. I can only imagine the complexes that poor kid would have. For once, though, I will say Black Adam's actions managed to extend beyond just some pissy words. He's actually taken Count Vertigo of Deathstroke's Secret Society of Supervillains hostage, and he tells John and the rest of the young heroes that they should totally kill him and sling his body over the Hall of Justice as a warning to Deathstroke and the others should they come at them. Yeah, this does not go over well with John and the others. Though I will say I absolutely love to see Black Adam acting like his old, more interesting self, and I even more love getting to see a young Superman get all in Black Adam's face. After all, much like his father, John is an infinitely understanding and forgiving individual, so if he's getting this pissed off, it must be something really serious, and you don't want to see a super person pissed off. Seeing as, once again, this new version of the Justice League is at a philosophical dead end, Black Adam decides to take his leave, and John is once again left holding the bag. Even Robin isn't exactly all that supportive to his former Super Son friend, saying that this isn't a Justice League, this is a disaster. Deathstroke's just gonna keep throwing D-list loser villains at us over and over again until we're too tired to fight back when he eventually comes to kill us all. It's understandably a pretty dark and dour moment, but hope ends up coming in probably one of the most unexpected forms. If a league can't get the job done, then maybe a society will. Yes, that's right, at that very moment, Alan Scott, the Green Lantern, and the rest of the greatest superhero generation show up. And why, yes, the characters in the story even mention, why didn't we go to these guys first? Why was the Justice Society of America never an option? Why did we bother messing around on our own and with Black Adam at all? And yeah, I don't have an answer for that. Now, at the other end of the story, we check on in with Deathstroke and the rest of the Secret Society of Supervillains. They've brought to him his daughter, Rose Wilson Ravager. You'll remember the last time we saw her, she kept getting bumped around between her father, between Damian, with no actual agency of her own back in Shadow War. Well, now Slade has decided that he wants his daughter to rule at his side and help him to do the bidding of the Great Darkness in kickstarting a brand new Crisis event. Understandably, Rose tells her father to go kick rocks and that he sucks, in enough time for Slade to end up barfing up a bunch of darkness onto the other villains, before loudly and proudly proclaiming that he finally knows how to kickstart a crisis. I guess the secret was in the barf the whole time. Now, at this point, you might be saying to yourself, wasn't Green Lantern on the cover? Well, yes, they are a story in this third issue. Hal and the other Lanterns go all the way to the big Black Lantern that was built by Necron. Hal thinks that if Necron is involved in this new Dark Army, then they could hopefully use the big Black Lantern to chase him back to wherever him and his master is hiding, which is exactly what they do. Hal and a bunch of the other big important name Lanterns take a dark and scary trip before they ultimately end up face to face with Pariah. Pariah actually goes on a whole villainous monologue about how he and Hal are ultimately not so different. They were screwed over by events in DC history and tried so hard to change it, only to ultimately be called the villain at the end of the day. Hal, of course, reminds him that that was Parallax and not him, but it's painfully obvious that Pariah isn't listening anymore. We also see what might very well have become of the Justice League. It seems that they have been put in their own strange little Earths, maybe the dream Earths we've been seeing from the special tie-in issues. Hal attempts to grab one and better understand its secrets. Apparently the power is totally overwhelming, and despite what Pariah has been going on about how he plans to use the Great Darkness to reshape the multiverse the way it was always supposed to be, Hal knows for certain that that's all bullshit. The darkness is totally controlling Pariah, and worse still, these weird little Earths aren't the multiverse being reborn, but instead weapons of the Great Darkness. Though before Hal can fully explain what that means, he too ends up being taken away to his own strange dream world. In this case, it's an entire planet of Green Lanterns made up of his friends given crazy redesigns. They also say that they're currently in Sector John Stewart, whatever that means. I get the distinct feeling we'll have to pick up these special Green Lantern tie-ins if we want to know more about what's going on here. But believe it or not, we're not done just yet. Black Adam figures that if the heroes aren't strong enough to do what needs to be done, if they don't want to take his help and guidance, then he'll simply find people who do. People like Lex Luthor and the Legion of Doom. Oh sure, they might be the bad guys, but they're not affiliated with Deathstroke and by extension the Great Darkness, and they might very well want to try and save the Earth as it is. Even if that only means so they can go and conquer it later. And so that was Dark Crisis issue number 3, everybody, and despite all my razzing it, I did actually enjoy this issue a lot more than the two that preceded it. It's not nearly as metatextual, and as such I was actually able to invest in the story and follow along with it. I do actually like Black Adam acting more like his more morally complex self. He does bad things, but sometimes they're for the good reasons. I like that a lot of his behavior is truly born out of a sense of survivor's guilt, but no one can actually see that he needs help right now. I do like getting to see so much of the DC universe end up being represented here. We got the Titans generation finally fully back together. We even got weird dark universe heroes like Sideways for a second. And the idea of John and all these brand new modern heroes actually getting to learn under heroes from the Golden Age like Alan Scott is a really cool concept in and of itself, and I can't wait to see where that goes. Overall, I think I'd feel comfortable giving this one an 8 out of 10, and I hope they can keep this type of momentum moving forward. Hey there everyone, it's your pal Cape Joel again, and if you're seeing my face right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, and I'll always be grateful for that. Retention helps in this crazy YouTube game, and so does becoming a patron. If you head on down to the description, you can find a link to my Patreon page. Recently just redid all the tiers, a lot of cool stuff offering up there, exclusive commentaries, exclusive polls, behind the scenes concept art for Capes and Quest. That's the brand new D&D show I've started soon. Never been a better time to become a patron. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month and help the channel grow and, help me continue to deliver content like what you just saw. So I want to thank you all, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.